Hey, and hello. Did you know that Facebook currently has over 2 billion daily active users? YouTube has over 2 billion active users. Instagram has over 1 billion active users. Twitter has approximately 360 million. LinkedIn has 303 million. And Pinterest has over 350 million active users. Your customers and potential customers are definitely on at least one, if not more, of these social media platforms. With such staggering numbers using social media every single day, it is one of the most powerful ways to grow your business. Have you heard that you have to be on every platform in order to get the most clients? Do you get anxiety just thinking about posting on all of these platforms? Do um, do you want to be found by your ideal client, but you don't know where to start? Well, today we'll be talking about choosing a social media platform for your business and how to get up your social media profile for success. How to set up your social media profile for success with 8 key elements. So let's get started. Hi, and welcome to the Mompreneur HQ. I am Rasheeda Green, the founder and CEO of Mompreneur HQ, where we help moms to start, grow, and scale online virtual businesses so that they can build a life of their dreams without neglecting themselves or their families in the process. This community is here for you if you are a mom entrepreneur, if you are an aspiring female business owner looking to start your business, looking for resources, looking for help and direction. So we are the community for you. So let's get started. If you are here live, go ahead and hit hashtag live in the comments. If you are watching via replay, certainly hashtag replay will let us know that you saw this broadcast. We are going to get started with choosing your platforms. Instead of trying to post on every social media platform out there, focus on the 1 or 2 that will have the most impact on your business. In order to do this, you need to know your audience. I think I talked about knowing your ideal client previously, but we want to know, where do they spend most of their time when it comes to social media? Where do they like to interact with brands and businesses? What sites influence them to purchase? Who are the biggest influencers in your space, and what platforms do they use? Be where your audience is. Publish most of your content on the social media site where your audience hangs out at the most. After all, you want your audience to interact with your content. If you do not know where the audience spends most of their social media time, simply ask. Send out an email to your list and ask them to tell you what social media platforms they use the most. Create a poll on several different social media sites and ask your followers to respond. Another great way to determine where your audience spends their time is to look at the content you've already posted on social media and see what has gotten the biggest response. One thing to consider when choosing social media platforms is what you're selling. Depending on the products or services you sell, one platform may be more effective than another. And as you consider which platforms to use, it's essential that you think smaller rather than bigger. In other words, you don't want to spread yourself too thin across multiple social media platforms. It would be better to focus on and master 1 or 2 platforms, say your Facebook and Instagram, or your LinkedIn and TikTok. 2 different audiences. I know, I just thought I'd throw that out there as an example. It would be better to just focus on 1 or maybe 2, but make sure you get it down. You will get better results if you give 100% of your energy to a few platforms instead of 25% of your energy to a bunch of different platforms. At the end of the day, What matters most is not the particular platform you choose, but rather what you choose, but rather that you choose one and stick with it. When it comes to social media, consistency is almost always the most effective way to win an audience. Okay, so we've discussed choosing a platform. And for those of you just joining, I am, again, Rasheeda Green. I am the founder and CEO of Mompreneur HQ. And we're talking about choosing a social media platform for your business and how to set up your social media profile for success with 8 key elements. We already discussed 8 points to consider when choosing a platform. And now we're going into optimizing our social media profile for optimal success. All right, we discussed that if you want to elevate your name and your business, using social media is the way to do it today. However, if you really wanted to make a difference without wasting your time and effort, it's important to understand how to create a compelling social media profile. Make your profile as informative and attractive as possible. You want your profile to draw people in, not push them away. So how do you optimize your profile? Well, we're going to share some of those recommendations today in 8 key elements that we recommend that you include. Number 1, a professional username. Ideally, you want your username to be either your name or the name of your company. In other words, you don't want to create a username like Hot Girl Summer 21, as this comes across as unprofessional and won't set you up for success. In some cases, just using your name is the best way to go if you want people to know you as you. Use a high quality profile. Number 2, preferably a high quality profile photo, preferably an interesting picture of your face. If you want people to trust you, they need to see your eyes and face. You know, they say you can see a person's soul through their eyes. Or people relate to you more if they can see in your eyes that you're telling the truth or not. People, that's definitely a trust factor. So having your face in your profile photo helps them to identify. And the more centered and easier it is for your viewers to see your face, the more likely they are to find you interesting and trustworthy. Whether you're uploading a picture of yourself or your logo, you want to use a high quality photo. The blur is not going to get it. Ideally, the photo will have been professionally taken or the logo would have been professionally designed. Now, we say professionally designed. However, we are very familiar with Canva. And if you are not, Canva is canva.com. It is a free design site where you can design anything from your freebies, your giveaways, your ebooks, your workbooks, action guides, journal covers, you name it, birthday cards, of course, social media posts. All of these can be designed in Canva. And so when I say professionally designed, Canva is good enough even though you do it yourself, okay? Also, step number 3, highlight number 3, relevant links. Within your profile, depending on the system that you use, whichever platform that you use, you need to add links to the information about you that you want your viewers to know. It might be links to your content in other locations, or to your portfolio on your website, or when allowed, groups and products you are promoting. That is very important. If you have space on your profile, then you should be utilizing that space to promote yourself and your products and services to people even before they get to your website. Okay, so make sure that you're putting relevant links in your profile. Then, number 4, you want to write a compelling about section. Your about section is where you tell the story of your business. It's where you communicate what you're all about, your values, and what matters most to you. You want your about section to be both compelling and concise. What is it that you do that sets you apart from everyone else. For the human connection or element to your business, you want to consider a short but audience-centered bio. When you write your bio or any other about me information, it's important to think of yourself in the third person and describe yourself for your audience in a way that your audience will relate to you. Remember, it's all about them and what's in it for them. WIFFM is what's in it for me. But again, we're looking at third person. We're talking about them, even when it's about you. Then the next point about that is also to be able to add a little extra info about you and your interests. If you really want to become a real person in the minds of the people who view your profile and read your content, it's important to also offer to them a little extra information about your interests and hobbies in a way that helps them connect to you on a more human level. So if you're interested in skiing and skydiving and mountain climbing and swimming, sports, health and fitness, then putting that in your about section in your profile is something that's going to make you relatable, more human, and people connect when there's a commonality. If you see someone who likes what you like or loves what you love or watch what you watch, it's a connection that's being made. And sometimes the connection is what drives people to you. And then once they connect off of that one fact or that one point, then they're able to look at your content, look at your page, look at what you're doing, and then they kind of fall in love with you, your products, and your services. All right, so step 5, a background or cover image that draws your audience. Almost every social media platform allows you to upload a cover photo. The cover photo spans the top of your social media profile and sits behind your profile photo. Like your profile photo, you want your cover photo to be as professional as possible. This is your business page. This is your business profile. You want it to look as professional as possible. The background image that you share can offer further information about you and how to contact you outside of the platform you're using. Number 6, enter all your contact information. Remember, you're trying to grow your business using social media. This means you want to make it as easy as possible for potential customers to contact you. In the contact section, include as many possible ways to contact you as possible. It's the contact section. You want them to contact you. So that would be your website, if you have a website, or if you're using something like a Lead Pages and you just have a one-page website, then that's fine. That should be the contact information, how they can reach you via email if you have an email address that you use for your business, how they can reach you via telephone if you have a business telephone. And sidebar, I recommend that anybody who's in business have these things. You should have your business registered. You should have your a business address, a business phone number. Now we're talking professional phone number. It can still be a regular cell phone, but when that particular phone rings, you should know and identify it as a potential client call, and thus you answer it appropriately. It's not going to be, hello. It's not going to be, hey, what's up? It's not going to be that. You're going to answer that particular call in a professional manner, expecting that a potential client is reaching out to call you. So we said you should have your business registered, a business address, a business telephone number, and a business website. And if you have at least those 4 things, it should be easy then to move into a social media presence. That's something that you should have as a business. So those 5 things that I mentioned are very important when you're looking to have a website or to have a business that's actually a business. You want to work your business like a business, and even a side hustle. You should work your side hustle like a business. so that when people reach out to you, they know that this is a professional business. And I will tell you again, from experience, I have called a handyman, I have called a carpenter, and when they answer the phone, hey and hi, I'm very leery. And in those cases, often that is exactly what happens. I was leery. My gut told me don't do it. But I needed a particular service and I did it anyway. And either they didn't show up, they showed up late, they did a janky job. So I don't know why I just went on that tangent, but being a business owner, you should expect to be professional. And if people are reaching out to you for your service because you're providing contact information, then you should be prepared to accept them professionally. Accept the call professionally. Okay, I'm getting off that now. All right. Y'all with me? Y'all still with me? All right, number 7. You want to have updated, relevant, and consistent activity. Now, this information, even though this is not about your profile specifically, it is still important to ensure that your profile on the platform that you selected is viewed by the people you want it to be viewed by, right? So make sure you put consistent, relevant content up on your profile on a regular basis. Now, just to back up, consistency does not mean every single day, 3 to 5 times a day. Consistency means whatever it is that you select as consistency. If all that you can give at this time is 3 posts per week, then that's your decision. Then move forward with that on a consistent basis so that your viewers know to expect 3 posts per week. Now, although I gave that as an example, there are plenty of social media schedulers that you can select to actually take one Saturday afternoon if you're really busy, to take one Saturday afternoon, maybe 30 minutes to an hour to just get some social media posts scheduled for the whole entire month. I say maybe tops 2 if you're looking at designing them as well as putting the captions in, as well as scheduling them. Maybe 2 hours. If you can just take 2 hours on a weekend, maybe, or even during the weekday when you have a break, to just take that time to schedule out your posts so that you don't have to keep coming back every day that you decide. If you decide 3 posts per week, you don't have to go back to the social media platform and post manually those 3 times for that 1 week. If you use a social media scheduler, one of them is Hootsuite, Later, what else? Content Social. They have quite a few of them out there that will allow you to schedule your posts weeks ahead of time. And if you do it right, you can use only 2 hours out of the entire month to schedule your posts for the entire month. You're not going back and forth. You're just taking 2 hours to schedule your posts for the entire month. Doesn't that sound a lot better, a lot easier, less frustrating when you can just sit down, put the block, do your time blocking, block it on your schedule to just say, I am going to get this social media done for the whole month of June. Taking these 2 hours to get my social media done for the whole month of June so that I don't have to worry about it until the posting again until the end of June for July. That would be awesome. And I think if everyone considered a social media scheduler to help them get this done, it would be a lot easier and it will help you to stay consistent because you set the times, you set the date. You can say, I want this post to go out at 2 p.m. every Wednesday, and it will go out every Wednesday. So that's just my tip for making sure that you have consistent activity on your social media profile. So the tip is a social media scheduler. All right. And my last tip for this segment is clean your feed. go through your feed and start deleting or changing view settings so that potential clients or business partners don't see anything that would make them skeptical about working with you. It's your personal feed. It's yours. You can, and you can take the stance as, this is my feed. If you're on my page, then accept it. This is what I do. This is what I love. And the thing with social media is they don't have to accept it. You're absolutely right. They can leave. They cannot, and you have the choice on the other end also to not accept them. If you look at their page and see, oh, they're not my cup of tea, then I'm not going to accept this friend request. But you want to think about that as a business owner. It does have a different, it does reflect differently when you are considering this as from the business owner perspective. You want to make sure that your feed is I was about to say is positive, but it doesn't always have to be positive, but it needs to be congruent with the perception of what your business is and what you would want your potential client to view you as. So that is the final tip there. And as you optimize your overall profile, think about how you want to represent yourself and your business online. Your social media profile will be the first touch point for some potential clients. And it's critical that your profile feel and look professional. So as we are wrapping up for this today's session, we wanted to just remind you that, there's some definite things that we should consider when choosing our platform. Like I mentioned earlier, the different platforms that they're out there. But did you know, like, if you're catering to women, did you know YouTube is mostly comprised of men? If you're catering to women, did you know that Twitter is comprised of mostly men active users? The same with LinkedIn. But if your ideal audience are men, then sure, that's where you want to be. But if your ideal audience is females or women, then Facebook has mostly women active users. Then Instagram is mostly women. And then you have Pinterest, which is mostly women. So learning things like that will help you in choosing your social media platform. Now, hopefully, with the information that I gave you today, that you were able to release some of the anxiety about posting on these platforms, about choosing which platform to choose. You can always do additional research and look into the statistic that I mentioned, like how many active users there are, and then kind of get into the demographics of the analytics to see, well, if my audience is female, then this is where I probably need to be. And again, you want to pick one or two of those platforms to kind of tackle first, master them, and then be able to broaden the spectrum or broaden the platforms or add another platform to how you want to present your business in front of a different audience. So we want to make sure that we were able to touch on those things today because social media is a big deal. And mind you, there are some people who have made millions of dollars without posting on Facebook every single day, without dancing and making short videos on TikTok. It's not unrealistic. It's really not unrealistic to believe that there are people who can still make money without being on social media, especially since there are so many people on social media that everyone else is just saying, oh, we got to be on it. We got to be on it. We got to do it every day. We got to do it every day. When you think about even social audio now with the newest platform that, it's just audio. There's no visual, and it's just blowing up. It's just blowing up. And, I'm referring to Clubhouse, but I didn't really want to say their name because another side note, which is why I said your business should be registered and maybe even looking into trademarking, but that's down the line. I didn't want to get too far with that. But did you know that Clubhouse, with all the millions of dollars that they've made, with all the active users that they have, with all the big rave that they've created, they're being sued. They are being sued because someone else trademarked the word Clubhouse. Yeah. A restaurant owner has a restaurant called the Clubhouse, and he actually trademarked that. So because he trademarked Clubhouse, and now Clubhouse, as big as they are now, no one thought to trademark the name. Now, whether or not the restaurant owner is going to win, it's still questionable, or if they're going to get anything out of a settlement. It's still up in the air because there is some U.S. Patent Office or U.S. Trademark Office rules and regulations and some guidelines that you can follow. And if sometimes they allow, if you have totally different audiences or services, that sometimes they will allow, there are certain allowances, but which is why I'm saying it's possible that they may not get a settlement because one's restaurateur and another one is an audio platform, right? So there's two different, but the same name. And you can see it actually in several different areas where you have the same name book as someone else. You have the same name podcast, or you have the same name program, but it's trademarking. That's a whole nother step. And maybe we'll get someone in to talk about trademarking at some point. But as of today, I'm just glad that we're able to talk about social media, choosing a platform, and then again, optimizing your social media profile. Remember, if you're a business owner or aspiring business owner, you want it to be a profile that is going to be representative of your business and you and your business, your values, what you represent, what it is that you're selling. So if you haven't already optimized your Facebook profile, then go ahead and let that be your project for this week. Making sure that you tick off all the places that that need to be addressed so that you can optimize or get the best return out of your profile, get more people coming to your profile and get more people staying there is key. So if you are found value in our lesson today, please like our page, like our Facebook business page, like this post. We want you to share it with your community, with your friends and family. And if you would like to work with me to get more help with your business, whether it be social media, marketing, starting your business, getting your LLC squared away, trademarking. I am not a trademark lawyer, but I do know some ways that you can help to protect yourself in those situations, like how better to avoid getting yourself in those situations where you're doing something or doing something or naming something in a way that may be already trademarked. And I'll look forward to being able to share my experience with the name Mompreneur HQ with you guys, as there may be a change upcoming because of this whole situation of trademarking. So what better way to teach but then to learn? Experience is the best teacher, even when you're not excited about the experience. It is the best teacher. So again, if you're looking for more information, more help, and you just want my assistance in brainstorming your idea, feel free to reach out to me in the www.themompreneurhq.com, and it can be contact, or my usual is www.themompreneurhq.com /clarity-call, so that we can spend 20 minutes to just talk about what it is that your business idea is and how we can get you started. Well, I hope you found great value, and I look forward to seeing you all in our next episode of Mom Live, where we help you with anything, all things mom entrepreneurship and everything in between. Until next time.